Say what now? Not Rihanna suing Jay-Z for allegedly forcing her to sleep with him for a record deal. Baby? So it looks like the rumors about there being some secret tension between Jay and Rihanna was true all along, because she and A$AP Rocky just joined forces to sue the hell out of him for a whole bunch of crazy things. And just when we thought things couldn't get any messier, Jay and Beyoncé also contacted their lawyers and slapped Riri with their own lawsuit less than 24 hours after she filed hers. Clearly, they've both been in talks with their lawyers for a while, and we are just now getting to hear about it. Now, this is the last thing anyone was expecting to happen, because Rihanna is still heavily involved with Roc Nation, and her man almost got in prison for 24 years. So what's really happening here? Did Jay-Z really pull down 17-year-old Rihanna's pants for a record deal? And is Rihanna finally ready to expose him after keeping it to herself for 20 years? Let's get right into it. This mess started when people found out that there were multiple lawsuits from Rihanna and A$AP Rocky against Jay and Beyoncé, and there was also a lawsuit from Jay and Beyoncé against Riri and Rocky as well. This immediately sent the internet into a frenzy, and the first thought on everyone's mind was if it had something to do with the rumors about Jay locking up Rihanna in his office and touching her against her will, which led her to getting an STD infection. You see, Rihanna was just 17 when she got signed to Def Jam and started working closely with Jay. She was desperately trying to make some money because she was an immigrant and life was hard for her. Well, according to the street, Jay was aware of her circumstances and allegedly took advantage to turn her into his little side piece. These rumors got even worse when Rihanna's publicist at the time sold the story to multiple news publications and made some wild claims about Jay sleeping with Rihanna. Once word got back to Jay, he wasn't having any of it and made the publicist take back everything he said, because people were beginning to side-eye him as a pedophile. And guess what? He shook that publicist up really good, because he later came back after mysteriously disappearing for months and said he made all those rumors up because he wanted to use it to blow up Rihanna's debut single, Pon the Replay. The PR stunt that I did was out of desperation to help break Pon the Replay, he said in his statement. It was reckless and I didn't think it was going to work. I was just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what would stick. It's unclear who told Jay that making the publicist take back what he said was going to make people change their minds, but it definitely didn't change anyone's mind, and they still insisted that he touched Rihanna. A major reason for people clinging on to this was because Rihanna herself confessed that one day she went to Jay to be signed, he locked her up in his office against her will, and he kept her there until 3 a.m. in the morning. Mind you, she was 17. Why in the world would a grown man lock up a 17-year-old immigrant who is desperate to get signed in his office to the next day? I'm not saying something happened, but you can definitely see why people are convinced that something inappropriate happened that night that left Rihanna traumatized and hooked to him for the rest of her career. Rihanna spilled the tea about this weird experience during an interview with Tyra Banks, and people are convinced that Tyra intentionally brought this up in the interview so Rihanna could say out her own mouth what happened between her and Jay. Rihanna was visibly uncomfortable and tried her best to not give too much information on what happened, but Tyra kept pushing it. It's almost as if Tyra had heard about it behind the scenes and wanted the public to know too.
So tell me about your audition with Jay-Z. Tell me what he said to you.
A really good audition.
Yes.
But before I met him, I was so nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming.
And you had to sing a cappella for him?
Yes, I had to sing. I sang Pon the Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time.
Yeah. So then what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh yes, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
So then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he did it homework.
I did a lot of homework on you, this lady.
He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal signed or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen? Here's the paper. I'm signing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure working with Jay-Z, you've met Beyoncé.
That's right.
How was it like meeting her?
I could not speak.
Really?
Really, that's someone I really looked up to for a long time. And it was after one of my showcases, and he was introducing me to everyone from the label. Then he finally said, okay, one more person. And there she was. And I could not speak.
And she gave you some advice.
Yes, she did. She just told me to, when I get on stage, let loose, have fun, and be in control.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to let it go.
No.
Because, she'd be like, what? You know how she does it.
There was also Foxy Brown, who, just like Rihanna, Jay allegedly got in her pants when she was still underage. It has also been alleged by several people, including Jaguar Wright, that he impregnated Foxy and gave her an STD. Jaguar also claimed that Jay gave Rihanna an STD as well, and she went on to give it to Chris Brown.
Yeah, Foxy deaf. She deaf because she had the syphilis, because she never got on a venereal disease treated. Y'all should go back and talk to all of the that she slept with in Philly when she was in Philly. She burned every last, never signed no paperwork.
Okay, you never signed no paperwork.
I just didn't want to put my family's life on the line.
Jay-Z gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown. Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started f***ing with her and signed her to death jail.
At the time, Jaguar didn't go into details about the alleged STD Rihanna gave Chris, but she later did another interview in which she said Jay gave Rihanna herpes during the course of their alleged affair. According to Jaguar, this was why Chris put his hands on Rihanna in 2009. Not only did she allegedly infect him, but when Chris pulled up on her in Clive Davis's house to talk to her about the infection, he saw her having another man's D in her mouth and sucking the soul out of him.
How long are you guys gonna hold on to Chris Brown and Rihanna? You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand why people keep talking about that. It was forever ago. They were both very young, and he had just had his first herpes outbreak from her giving him the herpes.
Ooh, my.
Like, how the did you know what I mean? Like people don't understand what happened that night, and that's because Jay-Z worked so hard to change the narrative of that night. Now, Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started f***ing with her and signed her to death jail. It's clear to say that the herpes that she had came from the person she had been most sexually involved with, and that was Sean Carter. So here it is. Chris Brown has his first herpes outbreak from his celebrity girlfriend who he was set up with, and it was supposed to be this and it was supposed to be that, and he was there so people wouldn't pay attention to the fact that she was Jay-Z, underage. Jay-Z gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown. And that first night, when he had that outbreak and he busted in the house and said, where the f is this dirty Jack? I can't fault him for that. He had this is beautiful. Oh, wonderful. Chris Brown, she didn't ruin him. She ruined him at 19 years old. He's got the Jay-Z herpes.
Oh.
And it's unfair. Because now that's a part of his story. And Rihanna ain't innocent because she was in there giving the blowjob in the coat closet when Chris Brown came in. He said, you always sucking something. Then he said, I'm done with you. And he stormed out of his house, got into his very expensive car, and Rihanna chased after him. She gets in the car and started fighting on him because he embarrassed her for calling her and saying in front of everyone at his house the night before the Grammy. She in the car trying to f him up. They're speeding on the Pacific Coast Highway, and you know Pacific Coast Highway, very steep. She could have the both of them fighting him while he was trying to just get the f away from her. Because Lord knows he couldn't get away from the herpes.
Oh.
And he hit her back. It's calm down. And all of this is happening while he's doing damn near 100 miles per hour in a sports car on Pacific Coast Highway while he's still trying to register that he is beautiful Chris Brown and his is now trash at 19.
My.
Because he got set up with a that was in a pedophile who gave her herpes. And that's what happened. And people wonder why I speak up for Chris Brown. That's why. And if I'm lying, all of them can sue me, even you, Riri.
Jaguar claims Jay and Rihanna changed the whole story so the truth wouldn't be exposed. And in case you were wondering where Jaguar got all this information from, she claims she was at the party that night and literally saw the whole thing happen.
Heard about the situation.
That's what the f happened that night, and I know because I was at the party. It was the last Davis kissed fucking pinky ring fucking party I ever went to. And Jay-Z and them get on the radio and they talk shit about that little fucking boy. And then they put together that whole sham and then have him arrested on the red carpet just to make sure America fucking hated him for defending himself against that crazy. I mean, she's sexy as shit and she's pure, and she has all of my respect when it comes to the game. But you ruined Chris Brown's life, and you knew you ruined his life, and the only reason you did it was because your Jay-Z told you to, so that he could cover up the fact that he started fucking you at 14 when he was damn near 30 years old.
Now, when it comes to the lawsuits that Rihanna, ASAP, Beyoncé, and Jay are throwing at each other, it's unclear if it's even going to pull through. Because shortly after the news of it came out, Roc Nation put out this tweet that simply said, "Don't be dumb." Now, people took this as them telling the public not to believe the rumors about the suit because it's fake. Not only that, but the suit claims that Rihanna is suing Jay and Beyoncé for labor litigation, which doesn't make sense because they have no business together, at least not that we know of. It's either there's still more information that's not out yet or someone's bored and decided to make this up. Either way, it got the internet talking like this person who said, "I definitely feel like Rihanna and ASAP have a lawsuit coming against Roc Nation. They had a hand in the negative press on Rihanna and ASAP charges. Bet they was mad he got off. This recent news about the Carters suing them might be Roc Nation's way of trying to get ahead and distract." Another person said, "Y'all gagging at fake-ish because why would Beyoncé and Jay-Z sue Rihanna for labor litigation, only suing for $100,000? Their names being spelled wrong, and then they're including ASAP? Like, girl, that right there should have told y'all it's fake. What the F is Jay-Z gonna get from ASAP?" But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about this lawsuit? And do y'all even think it's real? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.